right, here we go. Adam22, no jumper.
Hello,
Welcome
Vlad.
back.
What's up, man?
Welcome back. Congrats on all your success.
Thank you.
I see the YouTube channel has been growing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like 3 point something now, million?
3.6, something
3.6 million, yeah. Think you're going to catch up to us at some point?
like that.
You know, you're less than $1 million away now. You're less than $1 million away.
Can't catch up to the clip god. I don't know.
The clip god. But you're also doing great on TikTok,
Appreciate it.
Instagram TV, and all the different platforms, man. Congrats.
Thank
Congrats on building a great business.
Appreciate it.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So, someone you've interviewed before, Jake Paul, just knocked out Ben Askren. Did you watch it?
I did.
What'd you think?
You know, my first reaction was like, Ben Askren got right the fuck back up, and I felt like, all right, they're really not going to let this guy fight. But then when I saw another angle of it, I did see the wobbly knees on Ben Askren. He did look like he was falling over a little bit. I mean, you know, there was a state of mind that I had previous to this where it was like, I just assumed that everybody who had ever fought in the UFC could beat Jake Paul's ass.
Right.
And it turns out that that's not the case. They found at least one guy who was in the UFC that Jake Paul could beat him up. So I don't know. I mean, I watched like a press conference after the UFC fight the other day where they were asking all these top fighters what they thought of Jake Paul, and they were all laughing at him. I mean, which probably should go without saying, but it's just interesting like where he's going to take it from here because I mean, clearly he's taking this shit really fucking serious, and it's you know it's very interesting watching it play out in the court of public opinion.
Yeah, I mean, with both of us being YouTubers, it's kind of like one of our own is like.
I mean, if we were 25 or some shit right now,
I
who
know,
knows?
right? Yeah, I know, right? I might get in the ring at 25. Well, a lot of people thought it was fake.
I saw that, yeah.
What did you think?
I mean, honestly, it seemed like a pretty legit, respectable punch, you know? Like, he punched him in the fucking head and he fell down hard on the ground. I mean, it seemed like that would be sort of hard to fake. And I, like, you know, when I think about Ben Askren, I don't think of him as somebody who would be so lacking in integrity that he would do such a thing. You know, it's like, it feels like the risk of them planning out the results of this fight and having anyone potentially know about the fact that they were planning that, I don't know. It doesn't seem super likely to me that they would have faked it. But I mean, it's certainly possible. But when I watched the fight, I didn't really feel like it was fake.
Well, Ben Askren was not exactly in tip-top shape.
Exactly.
If you saw the weigh-in, he had like a muffin top. You know?
Like he was a boss UFC fighter, and then he got, I think, back surgery and like, you know, basically completely fell off of the whole scene of fighting and everything. And then they're like, hey, here, do you want to make $1 million? And you got to just fight this YouTube kid. I mean, like, if it was me and I was him, I would think that he would take it super serious. But I mean, I guess it's not that shocking that he sort of said, all right, I'll take the fight and then maybe not do the 4-month training camp.
Huh. I mean, because I'm not very familiar with Ben. I mean, was he a top guy?
I think he was. It's been a while. I kind of like forget what his role in the UFC was, but I remember thinking he was pretty badass. And when all these UFC guys talk about him, like in this press conference I was talking about just watching, it was very much like everyone speaks glowingly of like the kind of fighter that he was during his time in the UFC. So, I mean, even after that, after seeing Jake Paul knock him out, I mean, all of these guys, his peers, are looking at him like he's a fucking G. So, I mean, I guess that says something, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw the punch. It looked, it could go either way. And then he looked super happy as he was leaving.
Right, yeah.
Did he really get $1 million?
I mean, from the numbers I've heard being thrown around, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Somewhere in that ballpark would be what I would think someone like him would get headlining a fight like that.
But he's not the draw. Jake Paul was the draw.
Yeah, but Jake Paul needs to fight somebody with some legitimacy. And I feel like, you know, by sort of offering yourself up there, like I would think, you know, he has to get $500,000.
I don't know.
The way I think of it.
I don't know.
Maybe not. But
I don't know. But, you know, just the other day, Jake called out Dana White. He called him a douche and talked about how he doesn't pay his fighters, saying how he got more than like all the top UFC fighters.
Well, that's a very different business model, but yeah.
This is true. Well, I don't know, though. I mean, it's pay-per-view. Pay-per-view is pay-per-view.
Right. But I mean, the top UFC stars like do get something more comparable to like what Jake Paul is able to get. I mean, Jake Paul is the sole reason that fight got all those pay-per-views, you know? It's like when you look at the way that they negotiate the UFC contracts with like huge stars like George St. Pierre during his time or Connor or whatever, you see them like becoming much, much more giving to the fighters once a fighter becomes a real draw, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, clearly they take a lot more damage in the UFC against another top guy.
It's true.
I mean, these guys are usually limping out the ring
Mm.
and usually have to have various surgeries after they're done. So, I mean, they deserve that money.
The UFC ceases to have a business model if they paid every fighter $1 million, you know, or
You think?
whatever. Like anything even close to that. I mean, a lot of those fighters are getting like 20K or some shit.
Yeah, I mean the lower end guys.
Yeah.